This is Brandon Easton, writer, comic book creator, and former New York City public school teacher. I'm coming to you today to talk about something that a lot of people have been hitting me up about in my DMs and my personal messages and also in my personal life. And they're asking me my thoughts on Image slash Skybound's new Mobile Armored Strike Command or MASK comic book series. Some of you may know that I was the writer of the IDW Mobile Armored Strike Command or MASK comic book series back in like what 2015, 2016 when IDW started their own Hasbro verse, which was called at the time Revolution. Doesn't it's not all about the fact that I worked on the old one, but something else happened when I worked on the IDW Mask book, and that was Matt Trakker was changed from your typical square-jawed, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, typical Duke, Buck Rogers-esque character into an African American version of Matt Trakker. Now, when that news was announced, this is before the book was even released, just the news and the imagery of what he looked like was announced, there was this explosion of, I don't know if you want to call it racial anger or bigotry, but these folks went ballistic that Matt Trakker was no longer going to be the one they remember from the 1985 cartoon, and now it was going to be an African American male. And the other side of it is that when you're a freelance writer, you're a work for hire, when you're hired to work on a book, particularly a legacy franchise or an IP owned by a larger corporation, you are not allowed to come in and make changes off the top of your head and do anything you want. The Hasbro executive that was assigned to manage the IPs that were licensed to other companies, that executive made me aware that the Hasbro Corporation, Hasbro the company, executives within Hasbro wanted to make Matt Trakker a diverse figure. So they were like, "Are you open to that?" And I'm like, "Of course I'm open to that." And I figured, well, let's make him an African American guy. And Hasbro said, "Yes, let's do that." And we are allowing you to do that based on our mandate. So I didn't walk into Hasbro and say, he got to be a black guy. I didn't walk into IDW to the editorial team and be like, he got to be a black guy. It was a request, a mandate from Hasbro. So a lot of fans don't understand this very simple point. When you are hired to work on a franchise property, you are not allowed as a freelance writer to come in and do whatever you want.